Good afternoon, everybody. We're just looking at the gold chart we posted about on the 17th, and we're looking at our target down here of around 1142 and change. As you can see, we have our EP formation here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0 through 4 center line. You can see what happened here. We broke down through the 0 through 4 center line. You can see it here. This is R1, this red line. We just broke down through this today. So you can see, broke down through it here, through 0 through 4. And then we walked up R1. What we have here is we have two separate formations going, okay? We have this EP formation here that's already complete. Now we have, what we're putting in now is an IEP formation. So it's the opposite of this formation here. Okay, so this one had 3 drives to the top, 1, 3, and 5. You're going to see this formation is going to have 3 drives down, 1, 3, and 5. Okay, and generally you can see with the up move, that's generally the longest move. Okay, the 4 to 5 move is generally the longest move. The final swing is generally the longest. Okay, so now with this down move, we've had a pretty good move from our 2 to our 3, P2 to P3. Okay, so generally this 4 to 5 should be at least as long as from 2 to 3, or it should be longer. Okay, that 2 to 3 move was a pretty good move. So going there, let's see if we threw this on here. Boom, we're a little bit past it already, so we should go a little further. What we're looking at here is we're looking at an inverse IEP or SEP formations inverse. So we're going to have 3. This has 3 drives up. We're going to have 1, 2. We're going to have 3 drives down. Generally, what's going to happen here, price will generally drop below this at this 30 EMA. Sale price got above the 30 EMA to 1377. So this distance price got above it. It's generally going to drop below it. Okay, that's where we get this projection right here of 1142. So what we're looking for, as you can see here, price got through the 0 through 4 center line, got through this R1 on the, this is the inverse EP formation R1. So got there, came back up, walked up it, lost it, back tested it, dropped again. Okay, so now since we've gone through, see how when we went through our IEP one. Okay, we got through our IEP one right there. Price came down, zoomed it, came back, back tested it right there, came down. Now we zoomed it again. This bar here is just like this bar here. So we could possibly get a back test here and a back test of this R1, which is the red line. So we could possibly get a back test of these tomorrow. Markets are closed tomorrow, Friday, next week. We could get a back test here. Then I assume we're going to go down to here, somewhere in here, somewhere here by FMOC. That's what I'm looking for. Probably by FMOC, we're going to be around this 1143 area, which will put us around R3 of the IEP formation. And it'll put us, we might walk down this median line, who knows. If we lose R3, okay, we're going to R2 of the EP formation. Now it's a little confusing, but the red line is R2. If we lose this line here, this black line, okay, we're going to go down to this red line. It's a high probability we're going down here, which is way low, which is, what are we looking at here? 1100-ish, somewhere in there. So if you see here, we lost 0 through 4. Okay, now we went to R1, the red line, right? R1 right here, this red line. This formation has a high probability of going all the way to R3 on the red lines, but we're just through R1 right now. Okay, so you can see, get through the red line here, 0 through 4, back test, boom, gone. Walks up the black R1 line. We lose it, back test. We didn't even walk up. We walked up R2 here, the black R2, just a little bit. Now we've already zoomed it, okay? So that tells me here we walked up the black R1 line quite a bit. Okay, so that tells me what? We're looking at a very weak price action right here. Okay, it's very weak, and we'll take that off just to clear it up for you guys a little bit. Okay, see, we got through here, zoomed it, walked up this R1, tried to get back and up to R3 again, but we actually back tested this 1 through 4 center line. Boom, and was gone, right? Gone. Okay, now we're coming down through. Question is, when we went through here, say we walked up R1, are we going to come down here and walk up R3? Okay, we walked up R2 just a little bit, very weak. We should get a back test here Friday or maybe next week. And then if we back test just like we did here, we're probably going to lose it. And we're going to go to our area as above, so below there. And we're probably going to go to R3, somewhere in here. That's kind of my projection. We'll be looking at R3 to see if it does this. Walks up and holds, and then we're off to the races, and that would mean P5 would be in. And then now we're ready to go ahead and put in some type of formation like this, okay? So we'd be putting in a P5 down here, right? Boom, then take off. We could draw in a 1 through 3 center line. What this will project for us is when price gets above this line, generally that's your buy signal. Okay? Look at that. We zoom that too. So here's your 1 through 3 center line. We go down here, we bounce, price gets above this. That's probably going to be your signal to get long. We might walk up this if we can get up above this 1 through 3 center line. Again, that could be your signal to get long. Right now, what we're looking for is we have a high probability of going down to this R3. If this R3 doesn't hold, we are going down to the red R2. That's what we got, guys. Have a great holiday.